Hi, I'm going to share with you some tips on how to be really good at putting together a puzzle. I actually put a puzzle together yesterday, and it was one of my own puzzles that I created the illustration for. This is my Southwestern Hacienda Desert Jigsaw puzzle where I created this illustration. Here it is. It comes in this box, and the pieces are, if this can focus, are not that big. They're a pretty good size. Well, first off, when I first opened the puzzle, I was very intimidated. I was like, am I going to be able to put together my own design? Like, I drew this, so I should know exactly how it goes together, but I was actually really intimidated, and I was like, I don't even know like how long this is going to take me to do. But it didn't take me that long after I got the hang of it. It actually took me about 3 hours, but in those 3 hours, I also had to make myself lunch and eat that. So I would say it probably took me about like maybe 2.5 hours, maybe, or 2 hours. So not that long, and it was actually really fun. When I first started doing it, yeah, like I said, I thought, wow, am I going to be able to do this? But then as I started putting the pieces together, I first started going by the drawing and by the illustration. So if there was a clump of flowers that were all a certain type of flower in one spot of the puzzle, I would get all those pieces together and I would look at them and I would start putting that section together. So that really helped me. So tip number 1, find a certain picture inside of the drawing or the illustration and focus on that area. So I did that with the yellow flowers in one corner and then the red flowers in the other. And also I focused on the blue windows and just places where I could see a definite picture in the illustration, and I started putting those puzzle pieces together. Then it started getting a little harder because some of the areas didn't have a picture in it exactly, and it was either the sky or it was the dirt. And so then I thought, okay, well, I'll have to get all of those pieces that go by color. So that was the second thing that I went to, is I started putting the pieces together that were all the same color. And then after that, it started getting really hard when I went into the sky and the ground, which were all of the same color. And so when I couldn't figure out, like, okay, these are like all the same color now, then I had to go with the shape. And that is when it got really hard, because some of the puzzle pieces are shaped so similarly with just like a little bit of a difference. And I would think like a piece goes somewhere, but then when I looked at it again, it wouldn't fit. And so that's when I realized I really have to like take a little more time, because I was trying to go kind of quickly just to see how fast I could do the puzzle. But also because I was filming myself doing the puzzle and doing like a time lapse. So I didn't want it to take like all day, because then like the lighting would be really different, like drastically different. So I was trying to do it rather quickly, but then when I got into those areas where I couldn't really go by the drawing or the design or the illustration in the puzzle, and I couldn't really go necessarily by the color, and I had to really go down to the shape, and that's when I started to have to really take time to like look at the pieces and see how they were slightly different and see which ones fit together. So it did slow down towards the end for me, but I got it done, and it was very fulfilling to finish the puzzle. It does make you feel smart after you finish a puzzle, I will say that, because when you put a piece in an area where you think it's gonna fit and then it doesn't fit, and then you're just like, wow, I am not intelligent, but you finally will get it. And when I did, I was like, wow, I feel very smart. So it is fulfilling to work on a puzzle, and it is challenging, and it does really help your eye hand contact coordination, and it does help your brain think like, in different areas, like about shapes, colors and design. So that was all really fun to feel my brain working in that way. And also very interesting that even though it was my own illustration, I still was challenged in figuring out the puzzle. So I had a lot of fun doing it, and those were my 3 tips. Started out with going by the drawing or the illustration, get all those shapes together and get all those pieces together, then go by the color and get all of those areas together or all those pieces together, and then start going by the shape of the puzzle and the puzzle piece, the shape of the puzzle piece. Oh, also, I did have a little bit of help from my brother when I got down like towards the end and I couldn't figure out some of the pieces that I couldn't go by color and I was just going by shape, and my brother actually helped put a couple of the pieces together. So that's one more extra tip, is if you do have someone, another pair of fresh eyes to look at the puzzle, and they'll probably see things and catch things that you didn't. So that helps too when you have someone helping you out a little bit. So those are my tips, and this particular illustration came from a calendar. It's called the Happy Sweet Home calendar, and it actually comes in whatever year you would like to have it in, because Zazzle is really big about customizing things, so you can have this calendar be in whatever year you want. If you happen to want to get one of these calendars, I'll have the link in my description. And I will put a link to the puzzle and all of the other puzzles. I have a puzzle for every single house in this Happy Sweet Home calendar. So if you're not really into the southwestern desert style, I have a snow barn, I have a really pretty fall country farm home, there's a A-frame cabin, there's a English cottage, there's a mid-century modern home, which seems to also be really popular. So yeah, there's a puzzle for every single one of these houses in the calendar. There's also a couple other puzzles that I have, some Halloween ones and some Christmas ones. So yeah, there's all kinds of things to look at in my shop, Little Paper Farm. So go ahead and go on over there and take a look, see if there's anything you like. And if you do get a puzzle, or if you just want to talk about your puzzle experience, you can do that in my comments below. Thanks for watching.